Danger Dolan. From restored ancient castles to a former military prison with history, we count 15 of the world's most haunted hotels.
Number 15.
Cassadaga Hotel. So Cassadaga is a spiritualist camp in Florida that is today recognized as the psychic capital of the world. The community was established in 1894 and is known for its amazing energy vortex and psychic mediums. According to its website, Cassadaga Hotel is a charming and mysterious inn, and the destination of choice for those interested in the paranormal, timeless grace of early 20th century buildings, and those wanting a truly unique holiday experience. The hotel proudly advertises that it is haunted by friendly spirits. The staff invites you to bring a camera along for a slow, restorative evening stroll. Many guests have taken unbelievable photos of spirit energies in and around the hotel.
Number 14.
Russell Hotel, Sydney. So The Rock, Sydney's oldest neighbourhood, has a history of crime and debauchery, and is home to the famously haunted Russell Hotel. The hotel once served as a hospital during early outbreaks of smallpox and bubonic plague. Later became a sailors' hostel. It is said to be frequented by the spirits of colonial-era sailors and prostitutes. Guests of room 8 have reportedly woken to a dark presence looming over their bed, peering down at them. Others claim to have seen the ghosts of prostitutes wandering the halls, or doors opening and closing on their own. Reportedly, recent renovations on the old sandstone building have riled up the old spirits, with paranormal activity rising. The establishment celebrates its checkered past by running ghost tours.
Number 13.
The RMS Queen Mary. Built by the Cunard Line, the Queen Mary was the premier ocean liner for transatlantic travel, carrying celebrities and dignitaries. It was also used as a troop ship during World War II. 1967, world-famous cruise ship the Queen Mary officially retired from ocean travel to become a floating Californian hotel. Many aboard have died over the years, and these spirits are thought to roam the ship. Telephones ring at random, spectral women in 1930s style bathing suits are seen around the swimming pool, and crying children are often heard in the night.
Number 12.
Langham Hotel. Said to be England's first grand hotel, the Langham Hotel was built in 1865 and has hosted distinguished guests like Mark Twain, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and Oscar Wilde. Despite its prestigious reputation, the hotel was immune to neither tragedy nor controversy in its 150 years of operation. This list of macabre occurrences includes a German prince leaping to his death from a window before World War I, and a man who killed himself and his wife on their honeymoon. Other reported spirits include Emperor Louis Napoleon III, who spent some of his exile in Langham, a man with a gashed and bloodied face, various butlers and footmen, a spirit in the basement, and a man in Victorian evening wear who only appears in October. Room 333 is infamous for its spine-tingling supernatural activity.
Number 11.
Myrtle's Plantation. Located in St. Francisville, Los Angeles, this regal property was built on ancient Native American burial grounds. At least 10 murders have been committed in this hotel since the 1700s. Including the infamous murder of William Drew Winter, who was shot on the porch and dragged his dying body up 17 stairs before finally slipping away. According to legend, his apparition can still be seen. Now, today, 12 ghosts call this B&B home. These otherworldly guests include a lady with curly hair, a Native American woman, children who like to play on the porch, a girl who always makes an appearance before thunderstorms, and Chloe, the slave girl who was hanged by fellow slaves after poisoning their house mistress and her 2 children. There are also strange noises, blood stains that can't be removed, cold spots, mysterious footsteps in the night, and handprints that appear at random.
Number 10.
Akasaka Weekly Mansion. Tokyo is Japan's supernatural epicenter, and is home to spirits like the Noppurabo, a blank-faced changeling known to terrorize humans. Akasaka Weekly Mansion is one of the most haunted places in Tokyo. It's an extended stay apartment where guests have reported all sorts of goings on. Over the years, many guests have reported apparitions, ghostly mists, and the sensation of disembodied hands stroking the hair and touching the private parts of people who sleep at night. Men reported the sensation of female hands touching them, while female guests reported strong rough hands holding them down while they slept. One female resident even made the claim that an unseen entity threw her out of bed, dragged her across her room by her hair. Needless to say, she departed the building quickly, screaming into the night.
Number 9.
Le Pavilion Hotel. New Orleans' Le Pavilion Hotel, built in 1907, has been described as a place where guests can instantly conjure the days of genteel luxury and glittering nights. Guests can also expect to have brushes with the dead. The pavilion is reportedly haunted by at least 5 ghosts. The most famous of these is Ada, a melancholic teen who was killed by a runaway carriage sometime in the mid-1800s. Ada has been known to bump into people in the lobby, claiming to be lost, then vanishing. There have also been reports of a grey-haired woman in black and a spectral couple holding hands. Some have also claimed to smell phantom cigar smoke and ladies' perfume. The most amusing reported sighting is of the hotel's resident spectral hippie. Apparently, a young shoeless man in psychedelic clothing and bell-bottoms has been seen running around and disappearing through walls. The hippie ghost is a prankster, often charged with hiding objects and yanking blankets off unsuspecting guests.
Number 8.
Talbot Hotel, England's Fotheringhay Castle, was built circa 1100. It was the birthplace of Richard III, whose remains were found recently beneath a parking lot, and was where Mary Queen of Scots was tried and beheaded. The castle fell into ruin and was demolished, but parts of it were salvaged. Notably, the castle's oak staircase found its way into the nearby Talbot Hotel of Cundall, Northamptonshire. Legend has it that Mary walked down those very stairs on the way to her execution. The mark of the crown, which was on Mary's ring, was found on the staircase's wooden banister. Mary has been dead for over 400 years, but has not been at rest. Her ghost has been seen walking down the staircase, furniture has been moved around, and her portrait has been known to leap from the wall.
Number 7.
Grand Hyatt, Taipei. Most haunted hotels are centuries old and have some history behind them, but Taipei's 852-room Grand Hyatt Hotel was only built in 1989. Just because the building is relatively new though doesn't mean the land is without an unsettling history. The luxurious Grand Hyatt was built on the site of a World War II Japanese prison camp and execution ground. The earth was so poisoned by death and despair that paranormal experiences abounded in the modern hotel. Locals shun the place, believing that it is haunted by the ghosts of several executed inmates. Even action star Jackie Chan reported feeling disturbances and stormed out of his suite in the middle of the night. At a loss, the hotel's management turned to feng shui experts, who installed wind chimes, amulets, and Buddhist scrolls in the lobby to frighten away spirits.
Number 6.
Fairmont Banff Springs Hotels. Located high in the Canadian Rockies, the chateau-style Fairmont Banff Springs Hotels is a beautiful medieval castle in the wilderness. It was built to encourage Western tourism and sell train tickets back in 1888, and is dwarfed by the adjacent Rocky Mountains in Banff National Park. Although management firmly denies any paranormal activity, guest accounts tell a different story. One frequently witnessed spirit is that of a young bride who allegedly died in a tragic accident right before walking down the aisle. She fell down a stone staircase during her wedding and caught fire from a torch as she tumbled. Guests have reportedly felt a draft along the hotel's marble stairwell, where she tumbled to her death. The other nicer sighting involves the spirit of an elderly bellhop named Sam Macaulay. Sam died in 1967 following the announcement of his retirement. He so adored the hotel that, after he passed, he reportedly continued to work there. Ninth floor guests report the white-haired bellhop helping them and vanishing before they have a chance to tip him.
Number 5.
Karista Prison Hotel. Originally intended as an infirmary, Latvia's Karista Prison was used as a Nazi and Soviet military prison for most of the 20th century. Thousands of prisoners died on site. Today, guards still walk Karista's halls, and courageous people looking for an authentic jail experience pay to occupy its cells. Visitors can take a quick guided tour or opt for the full Karista experience, which includes prison garb, interrogation, harassment, and finally, being locked in a cold cell for a night literally in prison. Before embarking on the full prison experience, tourists are made aware that disobedience in the prison could result in insult or even physical punishment. They are also required to sign a waiver. Carista Prison also houses the spirits of the many who died within its walls. The staff relate stories about light bulbs that unscrew from their sockets, doors that open by themselves, and the ghost of a woman who hanged herself and now wanders the corridors.
Number 4.
Hotel Chelsea. New York bohemian landmark Hotel Chelsea was built in 1885 and was the home of countless artists, authors, poets, and musicians. It's famous for its many celebrity deaths, but it's probably best known as the place where Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious stabbed his girlfriend Nancy Spungen to death. Andy Warhol, Janis Joplin, Eugene O'Neill, Thomas Wolfe, Mark Twain, and more allegedly haunt this red brick Manhattan building. Poet Dylan Thomas was staying at the Chelsea when he fell into a fatal coma and later died in hospital. Guests have reported all manner of paranormal phenomena, from cold air to phantom footsteps to lights that turn on and off at random.
Number 3.
Balagali Castle Hotels. It was built in 1625, and this North Island castle sounds placid, but it has a lurid and frightening history. Former resident Lady Isabella Shaw is said to have been imprisoned in the turret home by her husband, Lord James Shaw, immediately after she gave birth to their son. Starving to death, she attempted to escape out the window and fell to her death. It's believed her ghost has wandered the castle for more than 400 years in search of the son who was taken from her. The property has since exchanged ownership and eventually became a hotel. Lady Isabel is still a very active presence in the castle, appearing frequently and knocking on guest doors at odd hours. James might also be present, as it is rumored he was poisoned in the castle. Another spirit, one Madam Nixon, has been seen in an elegant dress, and the mischievous laughter of children can sometimes be heard echoing through the hallways.
Number 2.
The Crescent Hotel and Spa. Built in 1886, this extravagant property in Arkansas claims to have been the most haunted hotel in the United States. Originally a luxury hotel and spa, it went bankrupt and reopened as a conservatory for young women. It later became a fake cancer hospital. Founder Dr. Norman Baker, a man with no medical training, used the hospital as a front to experiment on humans, alive and dead. He dispensed useless treatments to the living while raking in dough from their families. He was eventually jailed for fraud. Now his experiments haunt the grounds, and the spirits including Dr. Baker himself, a stonemason that fell off the roof and died, a nurse pushing a gurney, Theodora, a cancer patient, and a former student who committed suicide. A ghost tour includes a midnight visit to the morgue.
Number 1.
Colorado's Stanley Hotel was opened by F.O. Stanley, the inventor of America's Stanley Steamer automobiles, in 1907. Paranormal activity has been part of the hotel's history ever since, and it is widely considered the most haunted hotel in America. The ghost of Elizabeth Wilson, a former housekeeper who died at the hotel in 1911, is said to linger in room 217, assisting guests by unpacking and storing away their belongings. The creepy sounds of children running and giggling are also regularly reported on the 4th floor, especially around the dreaded room 418. The ghosts of Mr. Stanley and his wife are also said to pass through the lobby, with Mrs. Stanley sometimes playing her piano in the music room. Stephen King was so freaked out by this hotel that he wrote The Shining based on his experience there. The Stanley Hotel owns its infamy by offering ghost tours and playing Kubrick's film version of The Shining on an infinite loop. It also has a resident psychic, Madame Vera. That's it for this countdown, and have a good one! The establishment celebrates its checkered past by running ghost tours